On the day of university graduation, the campus belle gave me 4 million and asked me to be her contractual husband for 3 years. But over those 3 years, I forgot about the agreement between us. Today, in a half-asleep state, I climbed into her bed. However, she kicked me away. Bastard! Don't touch me. Thus, under physical and mental torture. I spent 2,000 days and nights. Today, I really can't take it anymore. Let's get a divorce. The once harmonious breakfast atmosphere instantly dropped to freezing point because of these words. Have you thought this through? If you ask for a divorce, you must compensate me 4 million. If you can't give me 4 million, I will send you back to prison. Liu Nuan spoke with a threatening tone. She doesn't want a divorce yet. 3 years have made her accustomed to having a guy named Suya by her side. I smiled and nodded. Let's divorce. It wouldn't be good to wait until he returns to divorce. These past 3 years, thank you for taking care of me. The 4 million I owe you, I will find a way to pay you back within a. Do you have time today? Let's handle the divorce procedures this afternoon. Her proud nature meant Liu Nuan gave me no more chances. And there was no need for the afternoon, just 10 minutes after the Civil Affairs Bureau opened. We walked out from there. Liu Nuan didn't even look at me, and drove away. Left outside the door, my eyes were filled with bitterness. Before she had driven 200 meters, a phone call made Liu Nuan pull over to the roadside. As soon as the call connected, a familiar yet strange voice came from the other side. Why did he answer the phone last night? I was originally very happy and wanted to tell you that I'm returning to the country soon. But after I finished speaking, it was actually him who told me I see. Could it be that you too have already? Du Ziteng, please keep the filth in your mind to yourself. I left my phone on the first floor last night. Is there anything else? I'm busy. After hearing another woman's voice on the phone, Liu Nuan quickly hung up the phone. She suddenly felt that her head must have been squeezed by a door before. To actually like such a promiscuous man. The divorce combined with being disgusted by Du Ziteng. Liu Nuan really couldn't find the motivation to go to work. Vice President Wen, who never missed work without reason, miraculously did. Driving back to the Wen family home, Wen Nuan pushed open the door and walked into the bedroom. Chen Nuankyu, who hadn't woken up yet, tilted her head and looked at her precious daughter. Then she was hugged by her. Mom, I divorced Suye. At the Wen home at 11 o'clock, Liu Nuan was forced to sit on the sofa, facing an interrogation from her parents. Old Wen is a person who spoils his children, but today he didn't protect his daughter, letting his precious daughter be lectured. Wen Nuan, you really don't know what's good for you. Always bullying Suye. I won't even talk about you. But how could you get a divorce? Over these past few years, your work has gone smoothly. Who was it that helped you behind the scenes? Those tasks of yours, which one wasn't done by Su Yi in the middle of the night? Taking care of your every need at home. It was a waste of Su Yi's talents. He prepared your breakfast and dinner every day. Ran your bathwater for you. Even your underwear was washed by Su Yi. I don't remember who told me last time that it's so good to have a man at home. Now you tell me you're divorced. HMPH. So you must have had terrible luck for several lifetimes to run into a thing like you. Being scolded, Liu Nuan felt embarrassed. She puffed out her chest and retorted, I am your daughter. Or is Su Yi? I'm telling you. It was Su Yi who asked for the divorce. Your daughter was the one dumped. Hearing this, old Wen beside her immediately flared up, shouting and taking out his phone to question that kid. His daughter? How could she not be good enough for that little brat? Unfortunately, before the call could go through, Chen Nuanqiu shouted angrily. You have the nerve to call and ask Su Yi. Aren't you afraid, Su Yi will say, that Liu Nuan has another man in her heart? Isn't she just waiting for that little brat from the Du family to return? Do you think I don't know? Or that Su Yi doesn't know? Liu Nuan, I'm telling you. If you dare to be with that little brat from the Du family, I will take back all the shares in your hands. Then we'll see that little brat from the Du family kick you aside. The shares belong to my father. Humph. Do you think your father dares to give them to you? Old Wen. Want to practice some military boxing? Chen Nuanqiu glared at Wen Shu. This time he stood by his wife's side. Then he frowned and said softly to Liu Nuan, your mother and I feel the same way. We won't agree to you being with Du Ziteng. Liu Nuan looked up, looking at her parents with angry eyes. She gritted her teeth and said angrily, now it's Su Yi who doesn't want your daughter anymore. Not that I don't want Su Yi. Last night Du Ziteng called me and said he was returning to the country. He'll marry me as soon as he returns. Su Yi answered the phone. He asked for a divorce this morning. What fault do I have? If Su Yi is so great, then go find him. Facing Liu Nuan's resistance, Chen Nuanqiu clearly didn't care. She looked at her daughter with mocking eyes. You think those little tricks of yours are invisible to me, your mother? Du Ziteng is coming back, right? Starting tomorrow, I will sell your house at half price. Since you're divorced, come back home to live. If you dare come back after 9 p.m., I'll break your legs. If you want a date in the future, you can be with anyone, except Du Ziteng. I'm making this clear today. You can't go anywhere today. I'm going to find Su Yi now and ask him exactly why he wants a divorce. Liu Nuan, you'd better hope Su Yi doesn't tell me the truth. After speaking, Chen Nuanqiu stood up, casting a threatening glance at old Wen. If he dares to let Wen Nuan leave the house, he can forget about having a peaceful life. Coming from a military background, Chen Nuanqiu never beat around the bush. Nor would she use gentle words to persuade Liu Nuan, because old Wen played that role. If she weren't a bit more assertive, no one in this house could control this girl. Chen Nuanqiu went back to the room and took out a property deed. glaring at Zio Nuan. If you don't want your second uncle to send troops to catch you, just stay home and behave. I'm going to sell the house today, and then find Su Yi. Do whatever you want. I was just picked up by you. Go find your son, Su Yi. Chen Nuanqiu ignored Wen Nuan, opened the door and swept away. At this moment, I, not knowing where to go, was wandering on the road. Suddenly, the antique phone in my hand rang. Seeing the words mother-in-law on the screen, sweat instantly poured from my forehead. I answered the phone tremblingly. Hello? You little brat. Have I been too kind to you? Try saying hello one more time. I'll call the army right now. And have you executed, you brat. Mom, I was wrong. That's more like it. It's midday, you haven't eaten yet, right? I'm waiting for you at the People's Kitchen to ask about the divorce between you and Zio Nuan. I'll give you only 10 minutes. Dare you not to come? I know. If I dare not go, you'll send the army to catch me. 10 minutes. I'll definitely be there. The midday summer weather was scorching. Unable to find a taxi, I ran all the way. When I entered the private room, my mother-in-law happened to take out her phone, appearing as if she were about to make a call. Chen Nuanqiu looked at me, panting for breath, and nodded faintly. Not bad. You still respect me as your mother-in-law even after the divorce. Tell me why you are divorcing Wen Nuan. Think carefully before you answer me. Otherwise, I might actually beat you to death. Seeing this, I could only lie that I had problems in that area. That I was infertile. Let's go to the hospital. I'll call Zio Nuan now and tell her to come along. As for my mother-in-law, I was completely helpless. I definitely couldn't go to the hospital. If my mother-in-law found out I lied, I'd really be dead. I sighed, sat in the chair and said in a low voice, my marriage with Zio Nuan was just a transaction. Back then, when I was in trouble, my mother needed 400,000 for surgery fees. I had no other choice, so I could only beg Zio Nuan to save me. The two of us got married, and she also held leverage over me. I helped her deal with you too. The contract time is up now. I can't hold Zio Nuan back. There's no way. Playing smart in front of my mother-in-law will only lead to a worse end. I can only be honest and explain everything. Only when explaining, I took all the blame upon myself. But my mother-in-law's attention didn't seem to be on our contract marriage. Instead, she frowned and questioned, am I old? No. Not old at all. Missed a word. Mom, you're not old at all. People outside say you and Zio Nuan look like sisters. Chen Nuanqiu was satisfied. Then she spoke. Contract marriage. I can consider these 3 years as you two dating. Zio Nuan really has quite a few flaws. Clearly very messy. Yet she keeps insisting she has a germophobia. No life skills at all. Except for her education and looks. She has no other strengths. Could it be that you don't like Zio Nuan at all? Over several years. Even if it were just a dog by your side. You develop feelings, right? I'm not saying you're a dog. I'm talking about Ziro Nuan, the fierce mother-in-law. Made the sweat on my forehead never stop. I wiped my sweat and whispered, "You know my background. If it weren't for the leverage held against me. In this lifetime, a girl like Ziro Nuan would never have spoken to me. This kind of thing requires a matching social status. Even if I liked Ziro Nuan, it would be useless. The one she likes is someone else. That brat from the Du family. That Du Ziteng, isn't he just after the shares of Changxiang Group in Ziro Nuan's hands? Only a fool like Ziro Nuan would think her brother Ziteng actually likes her. You say you want a divorce without telling me. What do we do now? Du Ziteng is coming back. That fool Ziro Nuan is going to dive into the fire. Could it be that all of old Wen's life's work will be given to the Du family? I regret not giving birth to a son. I really didn't dare to respond to that. Nodding wouldn't work either. But fortunately, Chen Nuanqiu didn't make it too hard for me. She took 100,000 yuan from her bag and threw it at me. Divorce it is, then. I Chen Nuanqiu, am not that kind of old-fashioned person. You've called me mom for 3 years. Now you're not my son-in-law. But you're like a half-son to me. Ziro Nuan is petty. If you have 10,000 yuan in your hand, then I Chen Nuanqiu have lived in vain. Take this for now. Don't think about leaving this city. In the future, if something happens to me and old Wen, we'll still need you to come and help. If you dare refuse, I'll have the squad people take you out. No. Not refusing, not refusing. Taking money makes one indebted, and it's not a small amount. But I really didn't dare not to take it. The mother-in-law's fierceness. I've realized it for more than a day or two. While eating, Chen Nuanqiu suddenly spoke. Wen Nuan can now lead people at Changxiang. I, stuffing my face with rice, nodded. The more Chen Nuanqiu looked at me, the more she liked me. Handsome looks. A perfect match for Wen Nuan. And very talented. Squinting at me, she smiled and said, "Do you want to return to Changxiang Group? I can have old Wen make you the head of the planning department." I shook my head with a bitter smile. Mom, stop joking. If I return to Changxiang, Wen Nuan will think I'm still chasing her relentlessly. Since we're divorced, let's keep some distance. Besides, the employees at Changxiang don't know about my relationship with Ziro Nuan, but the executives have seen me. Also, that other guy is coming back. Regardless, I am Wen Nuan's ex-husband. Seeing my ex-wife with another man, it would inevitably feel uncomfortable. So, please just spare my humble life. All right. Chen Nuanqiu's expression was clearly disappointed. She sighed softly. All that pride in your bones was spent on us. And you didn't give a bit to that little fool Ziro Nuan. She still foolishly thinks that all your abilities were taught by her. Since you insist on this, I won't force you, but since you and Ziro Nuan are divorced, don't be in a hurry to remarry. Tell Mom when you find a girl you like. If the soft approach doesn't work, we'll just throw money at her. I won't be dating anytime soon. First, I'll solve the troubles, then buy a house in this city, before considering dating. Mom, you should go play mahjong. This is already Aunt Zhao's fourth call. While speaking, Chen Nunqiu's phone rang. Chen Nunqiu answered the phone and started scolding, urging, are you calling for my life? I'm having a meal with my son-in-law. And you keep urging. Just you wait. Go win your money. Is Xiaoyu beside you? Bring him over. Let this big sister adore him a bit. Xiaoyu makes such delicious dishes. Shameless. Don't seduce my son-in-law. There are plenty of stray dogs out there. So yeah, your Aunt Zhao is asking if you're coming. No, Aunt Zhao. I have things to do this afternoon. I need to buy groceries for Wen Nuan. As I said this, I suddenly froze. It turns out habits really do form. The lady on the phone gritted her teeth and yelled, HMPH, Chen Nunqiu, come here and meet your end. The fierce mother-in-law left, driving a very low-profile A6. Returning to the street, my face was bitter. Then I clenched my fists. A new life is about to begin. Time to buy cigarettes. My mindset was relatively optimistic. After buying a pack, I went to the agency to find a house. In the end, I chose a relatively expensive one. A duplex on the top floor. A debt of 4 million cannot be saved up just by being frugal. To repay the debt, relying solely on saving is not enough. On the other side, Wen Nuan was on the verge of a breakdown. The house was sold. The mother-in-law casually told Wen Nuan that she lost the house to Aunt Zhao while playing mahjong. If you have any objections, go find that Zhao woman. Towards Aunt Zhao, who forced her to call her sister since childhood. Wen Nuan had always maintained a policy of keeping her distance. This elder who lacked dignity for her age would chase her and ask, "How is my stamina?" This left the inexperienced Wen Nuan not knowing how to answer. In this regard, Wen Nuan was as pure as a blank sheet of paper. At this moment, Wen Nuan sat by the bed in a daze. Did she really like Du Ziteng? Or did she treat him as a spiritual anchor? He had been abroad for many years. In fact, time had faded everything. When they first got married, a long-distance call would last until late at night. As time passed, the late nights shortened to an hour. Finally, the call would end because I told her it was time to eat. I would also, during those toughest days of her month, wake up early, cook a bowl of fish head tofu soup, or perhaps pork rib soup, or prepare ginger and goji berry water in a thermos for her to take to the office. Suddenly, Wen Nuan felt lost. The image of Du Ziteng in her mind grew blurrier, while my image became clearer and clearer. Wen Nuan couldn't bear this. She was the one dumped by me. She wouldn't allow herself, under such circumstances, to still think about this man. Feeling like she was about to break down, Wen Nuan grabbed her keys and phone and rushed out of the house. In the bar, Wen Nuan looked at the unfamiliar environment. She plucked up the courage to enter this place she had never been to, a place she felt very resistant to in her heart. But she needed to vent. The more Wen Nuan drank, the angrier she became. How could she be so pathetic as to think of that guy Suyi? besides his cooking being a bit tasty, his room cleaning being a bit neat, his laundry being a bit clean, his mind being a bit smart, and him being a bit handsome. What other strengths did he have? Most importantly, this guy actually dared to suggest divorce. And dumped me, Liu Nuan. The already drunken Liu Nuan didn't notice. That Du Ziteng didn't exist in her mind at all. The wine doesn't intoxicate, the person intoxicates themselves. Hello, beautiful. Could you give me a chance to buy you a drink? She had already lost track of how many people had come to flirt. Liu Nuan just wanted to drink in peace for a while. She turned her head and glanced at the man about 41 years old, dressed in designer brands. Liu Nuan frowned and asked, "My annual salary is 6 figures. I have a watch worth over $1 million. And a relative at the deputy director level. Do I lack a drink from you?" The middle-aged man smiled, turned around and left. In his tone, he could feel that this woman wasn't asking him, but was telling him that she had everything he mentioned. When Liu Nuan prepared to get up and leave, another young man came over to flirt with her. "Give me some face. My friends over there are watching. Come have a drink. It's lonely being alone." Hee hee. "Sister, your legs are so beautiful. You wouldn't mind if I touched them, right?" Get lost. Wen Nuan took the wine in the glass and splashed it on the young thug's face. A middle-aged man who was about to leave in the distance turned back and sat not far away. He seemed to be waiting for a chance to play the hero and save the beauty. The young man, having completely lost face, stopped pretending, gritted his teeth and cursed her a bitch, and raised his hand to get violent. But his hand did not fall. His wrist was grabbed. A fat man appeared beside the young man. "Shenjin, getting violent here. Do you want to be carried out on a stretcher? Not everyone is someone you can touch. Do you understand?" In the distance, Shenjin's friends also noticed something wrong and stood up one after another to come forward. But the chubby guy didn't even glance at them. After grabbing Shenjin's arm and throwing him aside, he smiled gently at Liu Nuan. "Sister-in-law, why did you come here by yourself?" At this moment, the already drunk Liu Nuan looked at the chubby guy before her with a dazed gaze, tilted her head and asked curiously, "Su Yi's younger brother?" "Sworn brother. My surname is Sun, just call me Fuba. This bar was opened by my uncle, sister, and others. I'm often here. Sister-in-law, did you drive here? It's not safe this late. It wouldn't be good if these bastards played a dirty trick. I just called Brother Yi. He should be arriving soon. Su Yi is coming." Liu Nuan didn't know why she was panicking. She tremblingly tried to leave the bar. "Why is it that the more I don't want to see this guy, the more I can't seem to get away from him?" Liu Nuan wanted to leave. Shenjin's people certainly wouldn't agree, shouting that she had to give them an explanation. Sun Fubo frowned, grabbed a chair, pointed at the troublemakers, and scolded them. "Stop being so ungrateful for the face I'm giving you. Do you really think I wouldn't dare touch you? Hugh, I go upstairs and tell them to stop playing. Someone is trying to cause trouble here. My sister-in-law's family has connections up there. You guys don't even think about causing trouble. Do you think you can afford the consequences of playing around in this bar? Everyone knew they had messed up. Feeling a bit scared and left in disgrace, the middle-aged man in the distance, seeing there was no chance to save the beauty, was somewhat disappointed, but he wasn't in a hurry to leave. He wanted to see who the man for this lily was. As Zaya Nuan stumbled and was about to walk out of the bar, she bumped straight into someone entering the bar. A Princess Carrie, and he held Zaya Nuan in his arms. Sun Fubao smiled and turned to leave the bar. The onlookers also understood that her man had arrived. You drank and still drove here. If Fubao hadn't noticed, would you have driven back? And you came to a place like this. If Fubao hadn't been here today, have you thought about what would have happened to you? What's the point of covering your face? Zaya Nuan, held in my arms in a Princess Carrie, covered her face with both hands, not wanting me to see her face. I couldn't be bothered to say more to her, and turned to leave the bar. However, just as we stepped out of the bar door, Zaya Nuan, feeling the breeze, vomited all over me. In that instant, I was about to break down, gritted my teeth and said angrily, I really should take you to Mom right now. Let Mom know that we just got divorced. And you're already drinking yourself into a stupor at a bar. Give me the car keys. Zaya Nuan looked at me dazed, struggling and shouting, It's my mom, not your mom. Then I'll take you back to your mom's house. I don't have the house keys. Zaya Nuan, were you not planning to go home? I was truly getting angry. Zaya Nuan hid in my arms, like a child who had done something wrong. Not long after, I heard the sound of sobbing. Suyi, I have no home anymore. My mom sold my house. There was no other way. I could only take her back to the house I just rented. Having slept on the sofa for a night, I felt pain all over my body when I woke up, and felt even more heartbroken that my untouched bedding had been taken over. I was woken up by my phone. The sky wasn't light yet. Zaya Nuan's phone kept ringing. Dazed, I picked up the phone and answered. Immediately, Chen Nuanqiu's lion's roar came through, along with some warm greetings. When you little brat get back, I'll definitely skin you alive. I just said you're not allowed to stay out all night. And you dare break it on the first day. As Chen Nuanqiu's roar ended, I said softly, Mom, this is Suyi. Zaya Nuan is with me. The call was instantly disconnected. I looked at the phone in my hand, confused. Just then, a text message arrived. It's settled, old Wen, and I have gone traveling. Let Zaya Nuan stay at your place. I'll be at ease. If you dare call me, you'll get a taste of military boxing. I looked at the phone, bewildered. My mother-in-law isn't worried about Zaya Nuan at all. It seems there's nothing to worry about. We've lived together for 3 years. While I was confused, Zaya Nuan silently came up behind me, checking my phone. When we weren't divorced, I didn't see you checking my calls. You didn't ask when I talked to Ziteng. Why start checking the phone after the divorce? Do you want me to help you? I turned around to look at Zaya Nuan, who hadn't even washed her face. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath. If you dare drink again, I will definitely tell Mom. I'm hungry. Wen Nuan intentionally avoided the topic of drinking. She took the phone and opened the blacklist right in front of me. Ziteng's number was clearly in there. Then she tossed the phone on the sofa, got up and skipped to the bathroom to wash up. Looking at Wen Nuan's back, I felt very strained. Not even a day since the divorce. And we're living together again. Hearing the humming sounds from the bathroom, I stood up and walked to the kitchen. While making breakfast, I relayed my mother-in-law's words. Mom and old Wen went traveling. She said she took the house keys. Mom told you to stay here. I don't mind. It's not like we haven't lived together. Suye, hurry up. I have to go to work today. Hearing these shameless words, I almost took the pot to the bathroom to fight Wen Nuan. What is going on? The marriage is over. The agreement was broken. I still have a 4 million debt on my shoulders. And now we're living together again. My heart told me to resist. I took a deep breath. Hurry up and wash up. I need to wash up and head out too. I have a job interview today. As I spoke, Wen Nuan poked half her head out of the bathroom. She asked confusedly, "Suye, you even washed my clothes clean when you came back last night." Hee. Why don't you stop working and just be my butler instead? No way. Seeing my ex-wife and her old flame so affectionate. Even if we had a marriage of convenience, I should at least have some male dignity. Old flame. You mean Du Ziteng? Suye, you're jealous, aren't you? Suye, do you like me? I didn't say anything. Wen Nuan continued to press me. Helplessly, I carried the breakfast out of the kitchen. Suye, as long as you admit you're jealous, I won't choose Du Ziteng. I am jealous. But now you need to eat breakfast. Understand, and there's one more unfortunate thing for me, which is that I have to start taking care of you again. It's your honor. So you have no idea. Last night at the bar, so many people were hitting on me. To go eat, neither of us noticed one thing. A very important thing. The way we interact after the divorce has changed. I am no longer subservient to Wen Nuan. Wen Nuan no longer treats me like a butler. She's afraid I'll question her about the bar. And at the same time, when she heard me say I was jealous, she was in a great mood. The gloom vanished. She didn't resist staying here either. While my heart was wailing, I'm more miserable than Zhao Si's father. But the 4 million still needs to be paid. While eating, I received a reply from Rongyao Group, saying I could come to the company for a meeting today. In the end, I stumbled along and arrived at the headquarters of Rongyao Group, just as I was about to step forward to face a new challenge. A big red raptor grazed my nose and sped past right in front of me. My confidence vanished in an instant from the shock. By the time I snapped back to my senses, the raptor had already stopped in the distance. A woman got out of the car, wearing a black bodycon skirt and a pair of 7 or 8 centimeter high heels. The woman had a very hot figure and dressed boldly, but in my eyes, This woman was the murderer who almost killed me. Before I could step forward to argue, the hot-figured woman trotted away and disappeared inside the doors of Rongyao Group. I pinched my chin, thinking quietly to myself, this woman doesn't seem like a good person. In the interview room of Rongyao Group's HR department, I sat on a chair, facing 3 interviewers, 2 men and 1 woman. This feeling reminded me of the scene of being interrogated at the police station. The female interviewer in the middle spoke first. Please start with a self-introduction. My surname is Zhao. I am the HR manager. I will be questioning you to get to know you. These 2 will judge your answers and experience to decide if a partnership between you and the company can be reached. At Rongyao Group, all employees and the company are in a partnership. Employment does not exist. Additionally, compared to other groups, Rongyao Group is slightly more humane. Now, I will first introduce the company's systems to you, so you can consider whether to proceed with the interview. Manager Zhao's expression was very gentle, and her tone was not condescending. This made me feel very comfortable. After learning about the company's systems, I stated that I could accept them. Manager Zhao smiled with narrowed eyes. Compared to Changxiang Group, we at Rongyao treat employees more humanely. Coming to work isn't like signing a deed of sale. Now I am going to ask you some questions. While you are satisfied with us, we also need to be satisfied with you. First, please introduce yourself. I replied with a smile and said softly, Su Ye, Han ethnicity, 25 years old, divorced. 3 years of experience in the planning department of Changxiang Group. Planned some small projects and participated in planning for Rongyao Group. Education is only high school. An accident happened at home during my freshman year, and then I dropped out. May I venture to ask the reason for your divorce? Huge difference in family background with my ex-wife. I didn't want to hold her back. If you had to come up with a plan to deal with Rongyao World now, from which aspect would you start? I believe that the Rongyao World we need to target is just a brand following a low-end route. Its main customers are mostly middle-aged and elderly people. Rongyao World is merely a way to save Changxiang department store, a method where transformation was the only choice. Rongyao department store mainly relies on jewelry stores and luxury counters to attract wealth. If we were to imitate a Rongyao World, there is no need, and the result wouldn't be very good. One last question. Why did you leave Changxiang Group? Does living far from home count as a reason? All right, we will give you an answer by tomorrow evening at the latest. Looking forward to cooperating with Mr. Su. I was still in a daze as I walked out of the room. Just as one foot stepped out the door, I suddenly turned back and asked a question. Is that Raptor downstairs your company's car? Once this question was asked, the expressions of the 3 interviewers became awkward. Manager Zhao stood up and said awkwardly, Mr. Su, you weren't injured, were you? That car is indeed the company's. It's just... I see. When I meet the owner of the car, I'll give her 2 slaps in the face. Don't blame me for being crude. She was wearing 8 cm high heels and almost sent me flying. I left, leaving the 3 interviewers looking at each other in bewilderment, not knowing if that last sentence should be recorded. This lady isn't driving in high heels for the first time. And everyone in the company knows. Absolutely do not cross the plaza around 9 o'clock. You must not drift off. You must use the pedestrian walkway. Manager Zhao sighed. I think he's quite good. We can keep him on a trial basis first. Anyway, the company has a 1-month probation period. It will also be written in the contract. Termination without reason is possible within the month. As for the fact that he was almost hit, consider it a greeting gift from our great lady. After all, we've both been through it. This has already become a tradition at Rongyao Group. Waiting for the elevator, my mind was full of lingering fear, wondering if this is retribution for the divorce. Divorced just a moment ago, then immediately dealt with by Chen Nuanqiu. And then Zia Onwen came back again. Almost got hit by a car this morning. The interview wasn't ideal either. The elevator opened, just as I took a step out with a head full of strange thoughts. I felt something soft against my chest. Before I could see what was in front of me, my lower abdomen took a heavy punch. Then a sharp scolding rang in my ears. Don't you have eyes when you walk? Taking advantage of me. Do you want to die? Before she finished speaking, my hair was grabbed. Furious after being punched and having my hair pulled, I reached out and grabbed the woman's hair. The woman let out a scream. Her high heels stomped hard on my shoes. Then came my wail of pain. This time I saw clearly who was in front of me. She was the woman who almost ran me over earlier. Tell me which department you're from. I'm going to fire you right now. Let go of me. As she spoke, the woman's grip tightened. Not considering myself a gentleman, I showed no mercy. I gritted my teeth and shouted, I don't work for your company. You almost hit me downstairs. I was just wondering where to find you. The chaos attracted a crowd. The 3 interviewers also rushed over, because these 2 voices were too familiar to them. When Manager Zhao from HR saw the scene, he was instantly stunned. Su Yi, let go quickly. President Liu, you let go too. Let go. The employees are all watching. Su Yi, you let go first. President Liu is a girl. President Liu. I frowned and let go. But unexpectedly, this woman didn't let go. She actually opened her mouth to bite my neck. Seeing this, Manager Zhao hurriedly tried to stop her. After much persuasion, he got President Liu to let go. At this moment, we glared at each other in a mess. Liu Ruyan bent down to take off her shoe and throw it at me. Manager Zhao quickly held President Liu to persuade her, then signaled for me to leave first. He said he'd call later to apologize on behalf of President Liu. I snorted and entered the elevator. HMPH, what bad luck. Liu Ruyan whispered while tidying her hair. Manager Zhao, do you know this person? Manager Zhao helped tidy her short skirt and replied softly, President Liu, he came for an interview today. He was almost hit by you downstairs just now. I know. Handsome guys annoy me. Can only look but can't have. Why keep them if I can't run them over? The interviewee. Tell him to come to work tomorrow. Grabbing my hair and taking advantage of me. Let's see how I play with you. With that, Liu Ruyan left. As she left, she lifted her skirt and tugged at her safety pants underneath. Everyone was angry but dared not speak. Everything about the company is great, except this general manager who is terrifying. As soon as I left the company, I received a text saying I was hired, telling me I could start work this coming month. All procedures could be handled at the front desk. But I had a feeling of a sheep entering a tiger's den. I cannot refuse. Going to Rongyao Group is the first step of my plan, and also the most important step. Only here can I find the opportunity to showcase my talent. The 3 years I lived with Wen shattered all my beautiful fantasies about women. Why are single women's rooms so messy? Thinking of Wen, I made a phone call to my mother-in-law, asking when the old couple would return. The call connected. Hello, Zioyi. Your mother is playing mahjong. We are in Sanya. Hearing the sound of the mahjong machine on the phone, I felt my blood pressure rising. What a load of rubbish excuse. The old couple just don't want Wen to go back, to disturb their world of 3. But I really didn't dare send Wen back. I had to save face for old Wen and my mother-in-law, and also save some face for Wen. After all, I was the one who proposed the divorce. Thinking of Wen, I feel my life has become even darker. Who would have thought that the VP of Changxiang Company, rumored to be a neat freak, is no different from a pig at home? This young lady made me understand what it means to never lift a finger. Too many tears to speak of. In the luxurious villa, Chen Nunqiu had already left the mahjong table. Her purpose for leaving was to deal with old Wen for letting it slip. Old Wen, dressed in casuals, frowned with a resentful expression, looking at the wife who had oppressed him for years. He sighed and said, "Do you think it's really okay for us to do this? Could something go wrong?" Chen Nuanqiu peeled a tangerine and handed it to old Wen. She frowned and said, "Between those 2 children, there are many complicated matters. I've mostly figured out the situation. Also, did that ungrateful brat call us and say she wanted to come home? She's long been used to being served by Suye. So stop worrying about it. We've watched Suye for 3 years. You know exactly what kind of character he has. Let me tell you secretly, Suye is a smoker. But for that ungrateful brat, he didn't smoke a single cigarette for 3 years. Do you think anything will happen to that ungrateful brat?" Old Wen put down the tangerine, leaned back and tilted his head to look at Chen Nuanqiu. He frowned and said, "So it's fine for Suye to smoke, but it's not okay for me to smoke. Chen Nuanqiu, you're going too far. Whether it's too far or not, what, are you going to divorce me? I'm in a good mood today. I'll allow you to smoke too." Old Wen, as if receiving an imperial decree, got up and trotted away to smoke on the balcony with his old friends. Actually, Chen Nuanqiu gave Nuan a call. As long as she admits her mistake, she could get the house keys and move back home. But that ungrateful brat didn't say a word and just hung up the phone. This clearly means she has someone backing her up. Then why the hell worry? Chen Nuanqiu returned to the mahjong table. I wandered through the supermarket pushing a cart, thinking about what to make for dinner. In the end, I bought a piece of large intestine, bought some green beans and mushrooms. When I returned home, Nuan had already returned. She specially bought herself a set of yellow cartoon bear pajamas. She was sitting on the sofa holding chips and watching TV. Seeing me standing by the stairs, she put down the chips, looked up and shouted, "Suye, I'm hungry." I took a deep breath and said softly, "Are you planning to stay long?" Liu Nuan nodded vigorously. "I can pay for food and rent." "Suye, I've been abandoned." I called my mom. She didn't answer and sent me a text cursing me. The text let me see. Deleted it. "Are you trying to use this chance to check my phone?" I'll show you. I'm going to the bathroom." Liu Nuan clenched her fist and exclaimed, "Du Ziteng has really been blacklisted." No reason. Liu Nuan just didn't want that guy to annoy her. If he likes foreign girls, then this sister won't serve him anymore. While I was washing vegetables, Liu Nuan slipped into the kitchen. Standing with hands behind her back, she looked curiously at the ingredients in the sink. She whispered, "These are all things I love to eat. Aren't you afraid I wouldn't come back today?" Without turning my head, I continued washing vegetables seriously. I replied softly, "Don't you dislike the smell of the kitchen? Why did you sneak in? I'm not a picky eater. Even if you didn't come back, I'd still eat them." Sigh. "So yeah, you've changed." As expected, men are all fickle. It's only been a few days since the divorce, and you're already so cold to me. Don't forget that I'm still your creditor. Pay me back, pay me back. You're not a picky eater. Then why didn't you buy crabs? Liu Nuan always bought ready-made crabs to eat. During the first few years of marriage, she and I only fought once. The reason was that Liu Nuan bought crabs and asked me to cook them. I couldn't bring myself to do it, so I put them in the fish tank to keep them alive. Then the next day, I saw Liu Nuan taking the lively crabs one by one and throwing them into a pot of boiling water. Then my face remained gloomy all evening. I didn't make dinner, nor did I wash dishes or clean the kitchen. Liu Nuan knew she had said something wrong. I didn't take it to heart. She turned around and walked out of the kitchen, just when Liu Nuan thought I was going on strike again. I came back, with an extra box of yogurt in my hand. "Go sit on the sofa and drink it. Stop bothering me here. After the divorce, I will no longer be subservient to Liu Nuan. I have no desire to please women in my bones. All people are equal. There is no distinction of high or low, even though you are the creditor now." But Liu Nuan didn't leave. She doesn't know. When she says I've changed, she has changed too. Perhaps the relationship between us has changed. No longer husband and wife. Large intestines taste better with more chili. Did you forget almost dying of pain in bed at 2 a.m.? And spending half the night tossing and turning at the hospital? That was in the second year after marriage. During the winter, Liu Nuan insisted on eating boiled fish, the spiciest kind. Then in the middle of the night, Liu Nuan was rushed to the hospital. The doctor's diagnosis was intestinal spasms. Antispasm injections didn't work. Even the IV drip didn't help. In the end, there was nothing else to do. I could only keep urging Liu Nuan to drink water. I stayed by her bed all night. Liu Nuan, on the hospital bed, moaned and groaned all night long, because Liu Nuan disturbed others' rest. I almost got into a fight with someone at the hospital. Liu Nuan also remembered this incident. Before, she felt it was only natural for me. Thinking about it now, it must have been a small happiness. After all, it was just a contract marriage. Then put a little less. Turn up the heat a bit. Is there any soup? Egg soup. Miss, if you are free, Could you help this servant carry the bowls and chopsticks over? All right, Eunuch Su. When Zio Nuan left the kitchen, I unconsciously smiled. Dinner was 3 dishes and 1 soup. If Zio Nuan weren't here, I might not have cooked at all. At the table, neither Zio Nuan nor I spoke, eating in silence, as if returning to those 3 years of life. After the meal, I cleared the table. Zio Nuan took the initiative to wash the dishes. I returned to the sofa, and when I took out my computer to study, Zio Nuan came over. She had changed into casual wear. Eunuch Su, do you want to go for a walk? This princess will give you a chance to protect the flower. Not going. So yeah. Not going. I need to look at some things. Zio Nuan was exasperated, took a deep breath, and then looked at me with a flower-like smile, calling out in a coquettish voice, Brother Su, I want to go downstairs for a walk after eating. Shut up. Humph. Straight man cancer. I couldn't withstand Zio Nuan's attack, which felt like magic armor piercing. I raised my hands in surrender. Going downstairs. Zio Nuan looks beautiful without makeup, combined with her proud height and long legs. She has a scenic view wherever she goes. Beside her, I am handsome, a perfect couple of talent and beauty. We instantly became the focus of the neighborhood, attracting many gazes. Walking to the basketball court, Zio Nuan exclaimed she couldn't walk anymore. She wanted to go to the supermarket to buy water. Drink what? I looked at the supermarket, then glanced at my home, then shook my head and said, Drink when we get home. Zio Nuan muttered a word. Miser. Finally, she trotted off to the supermarket. Where was the look of not being able to walk? Left behind, I looked at the basketball court, wondering if I should play a bit. Get some exercise. Just then, a youth around 20 sprained his ankle. The court was short 1 person. Everyone's gaze fell upon me. One of them asked if I could fill in for a while. Someone would replace me soon. I hadn't touched a basketball in a long time, so I was a bit rusty. After failing to catch 2 passes, I was looked down upon. My pride wouldn't let me leave so miserably. I took off my jacket and returned to the court. After receiving the ball, I didn't rush to attack, searching for my rhythm. As the sweat poured down, my feel for the game got better and better. Layups, 3-pointers, steals, assists. Except for rebounds, I had reached my peak state. Just as I was feeling a bit smug, the vibe of the young men on the court suddenly changed. Each of them became as if they were on adrenaline. Their speed skyrocketed. Surprisingly, there was even a slam dunk. While I was wondering, I noticed that injured child staring straight at the outside of the court. I turned my head to look and found that Zio Nuan had returned, sitting on a chair, talking on her phone. My husband doesn't need home services. He doesn't eat snacks. Zio Nuan looked puzzled and serious. A flirtatious, cutesy voice came from the phone. Oh, little sister. You've got that wrong. Which man doesn't cheat? Home flowers aren't as fragrant as wild flowers. He doesn't eat wild flowers either. Dirty. The other party fell silent, seeming to have their pride hurt by these words. I could hear the other party taking deep breaths to compose themselves. Don't be afraid, little sister. Big sister will attract him. Auntie, you are very confident. My husband only likes long legs. Coincidentally, I am 1.72 meters tall. What about you, Auntie? Are you over 1.7? The call was hung up. The game was also over. At the very end, I was utterly crushed and miserable. Then, under the gaze of everyone on the court, I walked up to that rare beauty, took a bottle of water, and drank it down. The flower already has an owner. I ignored the thoughts of these children. Looking at the phone in Zio Nuan's hand, I asked doubtfully, "Looking for me?" Zio Nuan smiled and shook her head. "A harassment call. Seeing you get crushed so miserably while playing. I couldn't bear to watch, so I answered the phone to kill time. How was it? Do you feel like you're getting old? Out of stamina?" I shrugged. Having a top-tier beauty here is far more effective than any stimulant. Let's go. Otherwise, those kids will see me as a love rival. Just as I finished speaking, the sound of a bouncing ball came from behind. The guy who dunked multiple times came up behind me, saying he wanted a one-on-one. I didn't refuse. As a result, I was beaten black and blue. The guy was overjoyed, thinking he would win the goddess's favor, only to find the goddess covering her mouth and giggling at me. When she looked at him again, her eyes were as cold as frost. Zio Nuan and I left. The people on the court lost their interest in playing, sitting on the ground like frostbitten eggplants. The dunking guy sighed and said, "Stop playing basketball. Wouldn't it be better to spend time finding a girlfriend?" Everyone nodded in agreement. In a high-end apartment in the city, a woman stood angrily in front of the mirror, gritting her teeth. "You're 1.72 and you're proud. Big sister is even 1.8. Damn it. The ruler is inaccurate. Why is it 1.66? I lay down early, exhausted in body and mind. The moment I closed my eyes, I fell asleep. Zio Nuan, sleeping in the master bedroom, fiddled with my antique phone, looking at the two numbers on it, recalling the other party's reaction when the call connected. Why did Zio Nuan feel something was wrong? Could it be that Suyu is cheating? Could it be that before the divorce he had already hooked up, although he doesn't necessarily like me? But how could he be cheating only 2 days after the divorce? The more Zio Nuan thought about it, the angrier she got. She dialed a number. The call was connected instantly. Zio Nuan, whose expression had just been unpleasant, instantly seemed like a different person. She narrowed her eyes and smiled. "Supervisor Lee, I'm really sorry to disturb you so late. You're not asleep yet, right?" A call from the company's vice president. How could they say they're asleep? The other party repeatedly said, "Not asleep yet." Zio Nuan continued with a smile. "I heard that a few days ago, your application for annual leave was rejected. Is there something going on at home?" "I see. Tomorrow is Saturday. Including Sunday, you can take 2 more days off." "Is that enough?" Enough. Then go to the company tomorrow and hand over your work. I'll approve the leave for you then." Chatted for a while. Zio Nuan got straight to the point. "Supervisor Lee, I heard from people at the company that your spouse works in telecommunications. I have a number here. Could you help me check it?" No rush. Just let me know when you have time." Just see who the registered owner of the SIM card is. After the call ended, Wen Nuan's expression returned to how it was before. About half an hour later, Supervisor Lee called back. For the sake of his leave, he dragged his husband to the company in the middle of the night to check the owner of the number. Unfortunately, the phone number had high security clearance. It couldn't be traced. Supervisor Lee nervously told Vice President Wen about it. Her leave was still granted, but including the weekend, it was only 4 days. Wen Nuan sat on the bed, looking at the phone number and muttering softly. This vanity number is a high-level user. Life over the 2 days of the weekend was dull. Wen Nuan returned to the personality she had when they married, locking herself in the room, busy with the work in her hands. The committee wanted several companies to bid for a piece of land. An old residential area. The people in the investment and risk departments calculated it as a loss no matter what. Wen Nuan was afraid that this land would be forcibly pushed onto the company by the committee. I couldn't be bothered to deal with Wen Nuan, checking the necessary materials on the first floor. I'd exercise in the afternoon. But there was no one left to play ball with me. A few young guys playing ball. Always felt like I was there to show off. These 2 days felt like years to me. I cannot waste a single minute now. A debt of $4 million a year makes it hard for me to breathe. At the same time, it gives me a thrill. Monday morning, Wen Nuan hurried through breakfast and went to work. As she left, she asked if I needed a ride. I shook my head. It's not on the way. My mother-in-law seems to have really given this flower-like daughter, too. Not a single phone call. Nor did I see Wen Nuan take any calls these past 2 days. I became a bit confused. It's one thing that my mother-in-law doesn't. But that guy abroad hasn't called once either. Did Wen Nuan really block him? What kind of trouble is this woman stirring up now? Little did he know, across the ocean, a man lay on the bed in a daze, feeling hopeless. He didn't understand what Wen Nuan was doing either. How could she just block him like that? He called his assistant. The answer he got was, Wen Nuan and her husband went to make up for their honeymoon. Ziteng was almost choked to death by anger. Once he returns to the country, he'll definitely deal with Suya first. To think this peasant beat him to it. Arriving at the company again, I've learned my lesson. While crossing the plaza in front of Rongyao Group, I really could have been run over and killed by that fierce woman. In these 3 years with Wen Nuan, I've known the gap between the rich and the poor. At the same time, I've developed a bit of a resistance to beauties. Girls who look polished and glamorous on the outside are very likely just like Wen Nuan at home. Because Wen Nuan said 90% of women living alone in the world are pretty much like this. This sentence basically shattered all the beauty in my mind. I walked safely through the gates of Rongyao. This time, all the company employees had come to work. Changing back into a suit, I looked more handsome. I went to the reception desk. I took out my ID and collected the employment contract. After signing, the girl at the reception took out a candy and placed it on the contract. She squinted and smiled. Welcome to Rongyao Group. This candy is the company's welcome gift. It symbolizes forgetting yesterday's bitterness. And that working at Rongyao is sweet. The girl's face was round, cute and lovely. I smiled and was about to reply. But in the next second, a cold, scolding voice came from behind me. Are you all that bored? Is all the work finished? If you have nothing to do, run 20 laps around the company. Don't all look decadent with your potbellies. It damages the company's image. Suya turned and leaned against the reception desk, looking at Liu Ruyan, who was scolding the staff. A pale yellow bodycon mini skirt, 8 cm high heels, wine red long hair. No matter how you look at her, this woman doesn't look like a general manager. She looks more like a kept mistress. Gradually, the smile disappeared from Suya's lips. Liu Ruyan had already arrived in front of him. I have to admit, this woman is very beautiful, very seductive, very fox-like and stunning. Unfortunately, such a fox-like beauty has a mouth. Don't know what to do. If you don't know, go clean the toilets. Stop standing here in the way. Standing at the reception won't give you a penny more. This woman is definitely on her period. Suya held the belief that a gentleman doesn't fight with women, and that he couldn't win anyway. So he turned around to leave. But after one step, Liu Ruyan grabbed his arm. She snatched the contract from his hand and glanced at it. Then towards the girl at the front desk. She unleashed a storm of scolding. The girl didn't know what she had done wrong. Bowing her head with red eyes, not daring to argue. Planning department. Who said to send Su Yi to the planning department? How many times have I told you? General affairs, general affairs. Su Yi. Report to the general affairs department. The contract will be delivered to you shortly. Now stop being an eyesore here. I'm in a terrible mood today. 1% of Liu Ruyan's bad mood was because of Su Yi. The remaining 99% was due to the land bid near the government office. Whoever takes this land will lose money. Liu Ruyan's greatest fear was loss. Suya took a deep breath. President Liu, I applied for a job in the planning department. Now you're sending me to general affairs. The salary in general affairs is 1,000 more than in planning. Bonuses remain the same. All right, President Liu. I'm about to be exposed. I'm wearing safety pants. Get lost. He originally wanted to embarrass this woman. But who would have thought she'd be so fierce? After Su Yi left, Liu Ruyan's temper seemed to improve. After venting, she felt much better. She tapped on the front desk and said coldly, "Why are you crying? If crying worked, I could cry for a whole month. Go to finance and collect a 200 bonus. And take 2 hours off. Don't let it affect your work." The girl stopped crying and smiled. This is why Liu Ruyan dares to throw tantrums in the company, without any employees hating her. When something is done wrong, she will scold mercilessly. After the scolding, she finds a way to make it up to them. The company's evaluation of President Liu is a sharp tongue but a soft heart. A girl in her 20s, managing the company under immense pressure. It's a miracle she hasn't broken down, yet she still thinks about getting benefits for them. As Liu Ruyan stepped into the elevator, she sighed. What should be done? After arriving at General Affairs, he didn't encounter any trouble. The supervisor was a woman in her mid-30s, surnamed Yang, with a very gentle personality. There were about 12 or 13 employees, most of whom were around Su Yi's age. The deputy supervisor was older. around 40 years old, a very greasy middle-aged man. All morning, Suyi observed the atmosphere of general affairs. It was very idle. Basically, no one was busy. Occasionally, a few documents were printed and sent to other departments, and then there was nothing else to do. Some watched movies. Some played games. But this didn't make Suyi feel comfortable or relaxed. He wasn't in a position to enjoy these things now. He wanted to go to the planning department. Only in the planning department could he find an opportunity. The planning department is like a battlefield, while this place is like a nursing home. By the time it was noon, they didn't seem to have any intention of going to lunch. Suyi stood up and softly asked the colleague beside him how lunch is handled here. "I'm hungry, let's go together." I didn't want to go by myself anyway. This colleague seemed easygoing. The two left general affairs and had a brief chat on the way to the first-floor restaurant. They got to know each other. The young man was called Su Liang, a few months younger than Suyi, having joined the company 2 months ago. He wasn't clear on what general affairs actually did. Printing a few documents a day was considered work. But Sister Yang was busy every day, and no one knew what she was busy with. In the restaurant, they met Manager Zhao from HR. The two greeted him with a smile. "The food here is quite good." Suyi ordered a portion of rice. Su Liang had a bowl of beef noodles. Just as they were about to start eating, Manager Zhao came over with 2 bottles of juice. He placed the juice in front of Suyi. Manager Zhao asked with a slightly awkward expression, "Suyi, actually, President Liu is a very good person. I heard you were transferred to General Affairs. I feel quite bad about it. I gave you the contract for the planning department. But General Affairs is also very good. It's a department President Liu established after joining the company. It's very leisurely when there's no work. Once it gets busy, it's never a small matter. If you don't want to stay, I'll transfer you to the planning department in a few days." Suyi smiled faintly. "It would be best if I could go to the planning department. If I can't, I won't force it." Going to the General Affairs Department was GM Liu's personal order this morning. I couldn't refuse it, right? I just want to work hard while I'm still young and learn as much as possible. If possible, I'll have to trouble Manager Zhao. Manager Zhao smiled and shook his head. "It's fine. This is also my job. You keep eating then. I still have some things to do." What could there be to do in the middle of the day? Suyi nodded with a smile, stood up to see Manager Zhao out. When he sat back down, Su Liang looked at the 2 bottles of juice on the table and said softly, "Brother Yi, you don't like the General Affairs Department. Life is leisurely here, and the salary is higher than in other departments. Why bother going to the planning department to suffer? If you don't want to say, pretend I didn't ask. Anyway, I'm not interested in this. I just want to know what misunderstanding there is between Brother Yi and GM Liu." When I first joined the company, I wasn't familiar with things, and I almost got hit by GM Liu. I didn't know who GM Liu was at the time, so we had a huge fight. As the words fell, Su Liang's expression changed. He leaned forward slightly and whispered, "A few days ago, someone got into a fight with GM Liu at the elevator. I heard they even pulled GM Liu's hair. Brother Yi, it wasn't you, was it? If you're talking about what happened on Friday, then it was probably me. Stop gossiping. Let's eat. Brother Yi is a true hero. After Su Liang added that, he lowered his head to eat noodles. Looking at him, he didn't seem worried about being implicated at all. I don't know whether to call him heartless or just easygoing, but Suya couldn't smile anymore. He suddenly thought, Manager Zhao from HR coming over just now. Was he helping GM Liu fish for information? If so, I'm in trouble. Liu Ruyan would absolutely never let him go to the planning department. What? Such despair. In fact, Suya's guess was completely correct. Manager Zhao left the restaurant and jogged all the way to the GM's office on the 14th floor. He took a deep breath outside the door, then pushed the door open and entered. Before he could say a second word, a folder was thrown at him. It grazed Manager Zhao's waist, scaring him so much he stood frozen in place. Anger filled Liu Ruyan's eyes, and she gritted her teeth and shouted, "The planning department is harboring a bunch of useless people. This is the proposal they provided. Do they think everyone else is stupid? As long as this project is internally assigned to us, Changxiang will screw us over during the bidding process. To hell with their damn commercial building. Let them buy this pedestrian street and go watch planes take off from the pedestrian street." Manager Zhao picked up the documents from the floor and put them back on the desk. Then he retreated 5 or 6 steps to stand far away. Liu Ruyan sighed. She made a phone call. It would have been better if she hadn't made the call. After learning the result, she broke down even more. VP Wen of Changxiang used family connections to resolve the matter. Since Changxiang can't be the sucker, it's now Rongyao's turn. There are only 2 large real estate companies in the city. The government would never go to those small companies. And small companies wouldn't touch this hot potato. Liu Ruyan lost all her strength, resting her chin on the desk, looking pitifully at Manager Zhao. "Sister Zhao, what should I do? Now all that's missing is an official decree for Rongyao to take over this hot potato. The business will definitely lose money." "Forget it. Asking you is pointless." Manager Zhao gave an awkward smile, lowered his head and whispered, "GM Liu, this project and planning aren't my strengths. You should ask VP Kang Dao. He can't wait for me to be demoted. By the way, how did it go with the matter I asked you to check about Su Yi? Putting him in the General Affairs Department. I still feel a bit guilty about it." Liu Ruyan seemed to have no energy left. Speaking in a weak, lifeless voice, Manager Zhao recalled Su Yi's appearance from earlier and replied softly, "I looked into this person's background. His degree is fake. Joined Changxiang Group. In less than a year, he became somewhat well known in Changxiang's planning department. Later, he seemed to serve as a private consultant for someone. He still wanted to go to the planning department, but not too strongly, possessing a maturity that didn't match his age. Planning department. Right now, I want to burn the planning department down. Sigh. He understands planning. He seemed to know a bit during the interview conversation. I see. You may go now. Tell Zhao to notify the people in the planning department to bring another planning proposal. The project department should also give me an answer soon. If you can't do it, none of you are going home. Remember to prepare dinner for them. Manager Xiao nodded in agreement and left the general manager's office with small, quick steps. Su Yi, who was preparing to rest for a while after dinner, was awakened by a crisp voice. He looked up to see a stoic little girl in professional attire, skipping and jumping into the general affairs department. She seemed to be familiar with everyone here. Those playing games closed them. Some female colleagues brought out snacks. Unfortunately, the stoic little girl didn't get to show off for long before a dry cough from Sister Yang scared her into behaving, hugging the arm of General Affairs Director Yang Lan. Calling her intimately Sister, Yang Lan was somewhat helpless with this younger sister, saying weakly, instead of being with President Liu, "Why did you sneak over to me again? Be careful or President Liu will deal with you." Zhao Yangjia wrinkled her nose and countered. It wasn't sneaking at all. President Liu won't scold me. I still have to help her block those flies. Sister, which one is Su Ye? President Liu wants me to find him. Hearing this, everyone's gaze fell upon Su Ye. Su Ye's eye twitched. He never expected that this woman's revenge would come so quickly. Su Liang leaned on a nearby table, whispering, "Brother Yi, will I see you come back alive? I see you have a pack of good cigarettes in your pocket." Su Yi joked with a smile, but he didn't expect Su Liang to shove the cigarettes into his hand, laughing while holding his stomach. "Brother, I'm seeing you off on your final journey." While speaking, the stoic little girl Zhao Yangjia approached Su Yi, studying him carefully from top to bottom. Then she turned to look at Yang Lan. She narrowed her eyes and smiled. "He is Su Yi, right? He's quite handsome. No wonder he was hired even after fighting with President Liu." "Su Yi, your sister Yang is willing to call you the strongest." Go on, go on. The innermost office on the 14th floor is President Liu's." Su Yi looked at the little girl, frowning and smiling. "You're not going." Zhao Yangjia smiled with squinted eyes. "Sister Yang, I only act when you're in trouble. Now you're in trouble." "But I'm hungry." "Then stay hungry." Su Yi stood up, ignoring the blackmailing Zhao Yangjia. Smiling at Yang Lan, he said, "I'll be back soon." Minister Yang nodded with a smile. But when she turned to look at her own sister, the smile disappeared, grabbing her ear, dragging her into her office. While heading to President Liu's office, Su Yi smoked a cigarette. He didn't know what the hell Liu Ruyan was thinking. Regardless, he had to endure it. Glory was his only chance. Knocking on the general manager's office door, after hearing Liu Ruyan's voice from inside, Su Yi pushed the door open and entered, saying softly, "President Liu, you wanted to see me." At this moment, Liu Ruyan was still leaning on the desk. rolling her eyes weakly. Speaking feebly, "If I didn't look for you, would anyone else let you into my office? I won't beat around the bush with you. You laid hands on me and pulled my hair. I simply want to torture you. If you can't take it, get lost. I'll give you triple the salary. If you can accept it, clean the office. This is the work of the General Affairs Department." "All right, President Liu. I'll go prepare the mop and rag right now." Suye accepted it calmly. This made Liu Ruyan feel she couldn't see through this guy. Watching Suye mop the floor with her own eyes, cleaning up fruit peels on the coffee table. Watched for a while, Liu Ruyan got bored of watching. Looked down at the documents from various departments regarding the land. The more she read, the angrier she became. She realized she was keeping a herd of pigs. How could a mall compete with the old department store? Are they blind or deaf? Don't they know Glory Department Store is in the city center? And some suggested building a market, right opposite a small commodity city. Simply unbearable to look at. Some even suggested doing RT-Mart. Simply brainless. A piercing scream scared Suye into shivering. Then he saw. This woman threw all the documents on the table onto the floor. And the pair of high heels on her feet. Suye took a deep breath, lowered his head and continued cleaning. No reaction on the surface. But in his heart, he began to doubt himself. Is he destined to be a house husband for the rest of his life? Married for 3 years, did it for 3 years. Thought he was free after the divorce. But then Wen Nuan came back. Thought going to work meant doing proper things. Turns out it's still cleaning and serving a woman. Suye firmly believed he must have offended many women in his past life. Organized the documents, placed them back on the table. Liu Ruyan pushed them all to the floor. Suye took a deep breath, picked them up again, only to be pushed down by Liu Ruyan again. Liu Ruyan was furious seeing this. Suye didn't care anymore. Put all the documents into the trash can, along with Liu Ruyan's pair of shoes. Then started mopping the floor. "Suye, are you sick? You threw away my shoes. Carry me home on your back." "Can't carry you." Does the General Affairs Department also have the duty of carrying the GM home? Keeping a bunch of trash? Trash doesn't include me. "Suye, do you think I won't fire you?" "President Liu thinks I came to apply for a domestic worker position. Even a clay figure has some temper." Moreover, Suye was naturally immune to beauties. This was all thanks to Wen Nuan. "Miss Wen." Liu Ruyan breathed heavily in anger. The phone in her hand was just one digit away from calling the HR department. Her chest heaved constantly. Unfortunately, Suye had his back to her, couldn't see this magnificent sight. If he saw it, Suye would feel sad for Wen Nuan. Why is the difference so huge? It took half an hour to clean the office. When preparing to clear the trash, he asked, "President Liu, should these proposals be thrown away? Can I go back to the General Affairs Department?" "Go wherever you want." "I'm annoyed just looking at you," Liu Ruyan replied irritably. Just as Suye walked out of the office, Liu Ruyan shouted, " 'Suye, you bastard. Bring back my shoes. Suya was slightly stunned, looking at the shoes in the wastebasket. His face looked slightly embarrassed. He forgot the shoes, carried the wastebasket back to the office. Holding a pair of shoes, he scratched his head awkwardly. President Liu. I'll put them here for you. Liu Ruyan stood up, walking barefoot on the floor tiles. Suya frowned seeing this, but didn't speak. Avoiding that kind of trouble, Liu Ruyan walked past Suye, snatched the shoes and threw them aside, looked up at Suye. Liu Ruyan had no other way. Her fox-like eyes held grievance and reluctance. Suye, help me. Suye was slightly stunned, looked down at the wastebasket in his hand. He guessed roughly, took a deep breath, asked softly, a last resort. Liu Ruyan nodded honestly. I can't think of anyone else. The planning and project departments have tried everything. I don't count on the people in general affairs. If I fail, I have no way out. I am very expensive. Payment in flesh. In my eyes, you're no better than cash. I really need money. The reason I want to go to the planning department is also because I need money. How much can you give me? I heard from Manager Zhao of HR. The department you came to Glory to interview for was the planning department. You understand planning, right? If you can guarantee your plan won't lose money and passes the executive meeting, I will pay you 200,000. Give me time. There's no time. Only 2 days. I can do it. No one loses. Liu Ruyan is no fool. If the plan fails, Suya won't get a single cent. She also saw his capability. Even if he does nothing now, he'd just spend 2 days playing games in the general department. Women are born actresses, especially when playing the weak. And for Suyi, it's not a loss either. Just making money with his skills. This is the plan for Glory. Only in this place does he have the chance to discover problems and then solve them. Suya left, leaving behind the wastebasket and Liu Ruyan. All he wants now is money. After more than half an hour, the people in the general department began to speculate who this suddenly appearing guy was. Some asked Zhao Yongjia. Others slandered him in their hearts. Liu Ruyan must be feeling romantic and took a fancy to this slick-looking kid. This is how human hearts differ. Of course, they only dared to think it in their minds. People are often jealous of what they can't have. Moreover, Liu Ruyan often dresses very provocatively. What human nature is inherently good. Dirty hearts are innate. Yang Lan also curiously asked Zhao Yongjia about this Suyi. Why on his first day of work was he called to the office by President Liu? And this person completed the formalities after starting work. Gossip is a woman's nature, especially with a gossip leader like Zhao Yongjia here. She had already investigated Suya thoroughly, looking him up and down sneakily. She lowered her voice and whispered, "Sister, this Suya isn't as honest as he looks. I heard that on the day of the interview last Friday, he got into a fight with President Liu. They fought fiercely, fought with President Liu. Yang Lan's eyelid twitched slightly. This wasn't exactly a secret in the company. On Friday, some were already speculating who would actually dare to fight the company's Night Empress. The image in her mind made Yang Lan rub her head. The quiet and peaceful general department seems to have welcomed a not-so-quiet person. While the two sisters were gossiping, there was a knock on the ajar office door. Sister Yang, President Liu wants her secretary to report back quickly. Something's up. Suyi is back. Zhao Yangjia didn't dare keep slacking in the general department. She stood up and trotted over, not forgetting to swipe some snacks from the department on her way. The girl wasn't tall, but her greed for food was significant. Then Suyi thought of Wen Nuan. The image of her eating snacks on the sofa. What he finds hardest to accept is people on the bed, or curled up on the sofa eating snacks, leaving crumbs everywhere. Sitting in the chair dazed, he remembered he needed to get data from Liu Ruyan. Should he go back once more? Recalling Liu Ruyan's words, Suyi shuddered. Better wait a bit. Wait for Zhao Yangjia to finish and ask her. If all else fails, find the gentle sister Yang. While Suyi was dazing, Su Liang dragged his chair over to Su Yi and whispered, Brother Yi, was the journey safe? Did President Liu want revenge for Friday? Su Yi reached out, pressed down on Su Liang's head, and scolded with a laugh. Why are you more gossipy than a woman? You actually guessed right. President Liu did go to get revenge on me. Made me clean up the office, and then gave me a pile of work. If I'd known she was the boss, I wouldn't have fought her, right? Come on, Brother Yi. Don't act like you're the victim when you're actually lucky. Although President Liu's temper is a bit explosive, she is a genuine goddess. So many people would rather be scolded, just to get one more look at her. If you don't want it, I will. Su Liang had a lewd expression. Suyi looked at Su Liang with shining eyes and said seriously, You're not taking it back, right? I heard President Liu is wearing a short skirt and heels today. You have this fetish. I'd rather be whipped. Su Liang's lewd expression left Suyi feeling helpless. At that moment, the girl sitting opposite them whispered a curse, pervert. As a result, Su Liang gave up on Suyi to argue with the girl about perversion and love. This easygoing personality makes Suyi quite comfortable. It's good when making friends isn't tiring. He has no intention of scheming with others. At this moment, the sound of hurried footsteps came from the door. Little Yang Jia is back, holding over 20 folders in her arms. The beasts of the general department saw an opportunity to flatter Yang Jia and hurriedly stepped forward to help. As a result, they were kicked away one by one. I'm still a child. Don't try to take advantage of me. While speaking, holding a stack of documents, she came to Suyi's side. With a bang, she placed them on the table. Suyi leaned back, looking at the documents before him. His mouth twitched slightly. Little Yang Jia took a can of drink from her pocket and placed it on the table as well. Panting, she said, "President Liu said to give all these materials to you and mentioned to bring you coffee. I'm very poor, so I just snagged a drink for you from the marketing department. Don't tell President Liu." Looking at the stoic little girl looking threatening with clenched fists, Suya smiled and tossed the drink back to her. "Secretary Yang, you've worked hard. Consider this a reward for you." Yang Jia took the drink without hesitation. Then she remembered Suya's phrase, "little secretary." She was instantly enraged. Puffing out her chest, she shouted cutely, "Where is Sister Small?" Suya pinched his chin, looking at Yang Jia as if in deep thought. "Your age is still small. Sister, Suya is bullying me." Little Yang Jia got into character in a second. It looked like tears were about to fall. Now Suya panicked. He hurriedly stood up. Not apologizing wasn't an option. At this time, Yang Lan walked out of the office and tapped her sister's head. Then she smiled at Suye. "She is my biological sister. She often comes to the general department to slack off and loves to cause trouble. Suye, don't take her seriously." So they are biological sisters. The gentle sister Yang. How does she have such a naughty sister? Suya scratched his head. Turning around, he found his colleagues were all snickering. Suya became even more embarrassed. Scratching his head, he whispered, "It's still my fault. I shouldn't have teased Yang Jia." Yang Lan shook her head and smiled gently. "We'll all be colleagues from now on. We'll be seeing each other often. No need to be so polite. President Liu also called me just now, saying you want to see the results by Thursday. If there's anything you don't understand, you can ask me." "Okay, Sister Yang." Suya suddenly received work. This made the other employees of the general department unhappy. And it was work personally assigned by President Liu. "If we're being salted fish, let's be salted fish together. You suddenly start working. It makes us look even more idle. This wouldn't look good in the eyes of any department manager. No one wants to work. And they don't want to see Suya working either. As a newcomer, you must follow the rules here. Wanting to set a new benchmark and flatter the boss on your first day. Suya didn't know what these people were thinking. He was different from them. The salaries they earn are already enough for their lives. Perhaps some of them don't even need to come to work. Suya really is short on money. The current warmth seems easy to deal with. But over time, once Ziteng returns and whispers in her ear, "Hearts are made of flesh. They can all waver." Taking a deep breath, he found the most basic materials to see what the difficulty was. That caused the entire proposal to fail. After reading for an entire afternoon, Su Liang called out that it was time to leave. Suya realized it was already 5 o'clock. It was time to pack up and go home. When Suya was organizing the files to take home, Su Liang suddenly grinned and put his arm around Suya's shoulder, whispering with a smile, "Don't work too hard here. Not everyone wants to see someone working hard." Suya was slightly stunned. He immediately understood Su Liang's words. Taking a deep breath, He mocked dryly. Liang, if you knew the pressure I'm under, perhaps you would understand me. I have no intention of competing with anyone. Su Liang still had that cynical smile. Everyone has their own life. But one should also be on guard. Things are difficult. I see you've been frowning all afternoon. If needed. He. Brother Yi, I was just being polite. Maybe it's just chemistry, or maybe Suya hasn't made friends in a long time. But the way they are acting so chummy doesn't look good to others, especially to some men. In their eyes, Su Liang is just a tail-wagging dog. Suya, come back quickly. I'm so hungry. Just as Suya was preparing to work overtime, Wen Nuan's call came through. He forgot there was a mouth at home waiting to be fed. A habit formed over 3 years made Suya choose to give up work and go home. Some things can still be done at home. Quietly told Su Liang. Together tomorrow. Squeezed onto the bus. Set off on the way home. On the way, he thought there should be some leftovers from yesterday. Heat them up and make do for dinner. But then he questioned this thought. Would Wen Nuan agree? Sigh. We're already divorced. Why should I care about her thoughts? His heart was in a battle all the way. Finally decided not to buy groceries and go straight home. When he opened the door, he saw Wen Nuan curled up on the sofa eating potato chips. Suya looked exasperated. Is this the look of someone starving to death? Wen Nuan also saw Suyi. Hurriedly put away the chips. Kneeling on the sofa, she shouted that she was hungry and threatened to call her former mother-in-law, saying that Suya was abusing her. Suya took a deep breath. The first day of work was quite busy. I'm not used to it yet. You'd better not call my mom. She was just asking a few days ago whether we should go back for the new year this year. If she finds out we're divorced, you'll probably be fine, but I might die. Oh, there are still a few months until the new year. Stop nagging. I'm starving to death. I bought the groceries. They're in the kitchen. Go quickly. If you don't go, I'll tell Mom that you were the one who asked for the divorce. Wen Nuan didn't change how she called her auntie. Suya didn't take it to heart. Walked into the kitchen and started preparing dinner, looking at the groceries on the cabinet. Suya was a bit confused. Couldn't help but grin. Almost all of them were things he liked to eat. He didn't know if Wen Nuan got it right by accident or on purpose. While busy cooking, Suya suddenly remembered the work Liu Ruyan gave him. Couldn't help but ask. I heard that at the junction of the new and old districts, by the airport. There's a piece of land to be rebuilt. Has Changxiang put out a bid? It's not a bid. It's among several enterprises in the city, choosing a sucker to do it. No matter what you do with this land, you'll lose money. The board of directors used some connections. Changxiang is just joining in for the sake of it. Why? Is your new company also in the bidding? Wen Nuan appeared at the kitchen door at some point. Leaning against the doorframe, tilting her head, watching Suye cook. Suddenly speaking, she startled Suye. Turning around, he frowned and said, "What are you doing here? I don't know if it's in the bidding either. I just heard colleagues talking about it." So I asked out of curiosity. It will definitely lose money. The airport is for training novice pilots. It can't be moved. It's that old residential area opposite the decoration city. Planes sometimes train at night. The residents and the airport have a very unpleasant relationship. The government office can't handle the relocation either. But they don't want to take a loss. So they just look for a sucker. So you put down the kitchen knife, turned around and frowned. Is that how it is? Current houses have decent soundproofing. But people nowadays all want elevators. It can't be higher than the current building height. This location isn't suitable for villas. There will be traffic jams in the morning. Picking up children will be troublesome. Opposite is the decoration city, small commodity city, and passenger station. A short walk away are our T-Mart and Fortune Street. It seems like anything done, there would lose money. Who is responsible for the demolition compensation? Stir-fry the food first. I'm hungry. Wen Nuan clenched her fist and threatened Su Yi. The latter quickly turned back to prepare dinner. Then Wen Nuan continued. This item is handled by the government office. This land has to be bought with money. They say it's an auction. But before the auction, someone will receive instructions. Whoever gets it is just for formality. For so many years, the government has always made things easy for our groups. No one can easily refuse. A residential area can't be built here. Nor a shopping mall. Too few floors makes it look too small. And too high, and the airport won't agree. It's a complete mess. I actually hope Glory takes it. Then they won't have the heart to compete with Changxiang. Su Yi, while cooking seriously, had a general idea. It seems Liu Ruyan already knows that this mess will fall on Glory's head. 400,000 in 2 days. How much could the loss be? If the land isn't developed for 5 years, it will be reclaimed. The government will force them to develop it. No matter what they do. Counting the land and the construction. It's about the same as what you owe me. I'm talking about the loss. Actually, the most important thing is the reputation. Stop thinking about these useless things. First, think about how to pay me back. Thinking about you divorcing me makes me very angry. Tonight I want 4 dishes and 8 plates. There's eggshell in it. Do you want to eat it? Su Yi ignored Wen Nuan. His toes were stepped on a dozen times during the meal. But Su Yi didn't take it to heart. After the meal, he washed the dishes. Wen Nuan stormed upstairs. Su Yi didn't understand why she suddenly got angry. He hadn't even provoked her. He couldn't figure it out, nor did he want to. After finishing the chores, Su Yi also went back to the second floor. He continued looking at the materials in his hand. He wasn't in a hurry to make a plan yet. He wanted to start by analyzing the city. He couldn't limit his focus to just this piece of land. While he was busy, the door was pushed open. Wen Nuan, wearing pajamas, suddenly pounced on Su Yi, hitting and biting him, until she pinned Su Yi beneath her. After declaring victory, she left with a smug look. She took Su Yi's phone with her. She told Su Yi bluntly, even a divorce needs a cooling-off period. I've blocked Du Ziteng, so you'd better behave. If you dare flirt with other women behind my back. Pay me back right now. Su Yi looked at Wen Nuan hopelessly and sighed. Only a fool would choose a man burdened with 4 million. Besides, I don't even have WeChat. Who could I possibly flirt with? The only QQ account I had. You even canceled it for me. Wen Nuan, come here. The two of us need to talk. You just beat me up without a word. Come here. Seeing Suya about to get up, Wen Nuan quickly used Suya's phone to dial a number. Just as Suya stood up, Wen Nuan shouted, "Mom, Suya is going to hit me." Things escalated. Suya never expected that Wen Nuan would actually call his mother. He put down all his work and explained to his mother on the phone that he was just playing around with Wen Nuan and had no intention of hitting her. The phone was snatched away by the old man, who gave Suya a scolding without hesitation. The old man hadn't achieved much in life, but he had one good quality. He never let the mother cook and never got angry with her. Hearing that Suya wanted to hit his wife, the old man couldn't stand it. Finally, Suya begged Wen Nuan to testify, and only then was the matter resolved. His mother gave an order. They both must go home for the new year this year. The old couple wouldn't bother coming to find them. If the children don't come home, it doesn't feel like New Year. The call ended. Suya lay on the tatami, looking at the ceiling and saying weakly, "Forget it, forget it. Now that we have to go back for New Year. If you don't go, Mom will keep digging for the truth. And if she finds out we're divorced, your primary base of operations will be as good as gone." Wen Nuan sat cross-legged beside Suyi, curled her lip and said disdainfully, "Look at how pathetic you are. My going back to see Mom for New Year has nothing to do with you. Mom is much better to me than Chen Nuankyu is. Go, go, go. Go take a shower. You're not sleeping with me tonight anyway. I'll wash." Wen Nuan, are you a dog? Pouting, while Wen Nuan and Suya were fooling around. Ziteng has already boarded the plane back home. He cannot wait any longer.